problem I want to see if you can help me with. All right? The problem that I have is 6 times 16. I know that we've been working on multiplication, but those numbers are pretty big, aren't they? I want you to talk with your team members. You've got some things on your desk. You have some tiles. I want you to talk with your team members and see, is there any way with this information that I've given you and the tiles, is there something you can do to possibly solve this? Just talk about it. So today the kids are learning about the distributive property of multiplication. And my goal for them is to discover how does that distributive property happen. So I gave them a problem, or I'm giving them a problem that is too big for them to use the multiplication they already know to determine that. So now they are going to, I had them discuss first how would be a most efficient way. Some kids still want to do equal groups, some still want to do repeated addition, but I gently guided them to see that they are going to build an array. Once they built the array, then we talked about, counting that over, it would take way too long. And so we talked about some different strategies, and they quickly came up with that they saw that they could break the number up to 10 and another number. So they broke that up into 2 separate segments. Then we talked about, oh, well, these are easier problems for us to solve, so they figured out the 2 problems, and then they discovered that they added those together to figure out what the larger number is. So everything that we did today was all self-discovery. They didn't know what distributive property was. You might have heard one of the children did hear distributive property in a video that we watched earlier, but they really didn't know what it was. So it was all they came up with all by themselves. So something that I learned through the math grant that I use in as many lessons as I can is the kids really need to go through the process of getting their hands on concrete materials. And what you saw them using today was the tiles that I got through the math grant. And they were able to really build that array concretely first. And they were actually able to split apart into 2 smaller arrays. Then the next stage that I have the kids go through is more to that pictorial, and that's where I handed out the 1 centimeter graph paper, where they were able to draw it out, and then they were able to make an imaginary cut or a line through so that they could split those 2. And then the final stage is to go on abstractly. As you notice, some of my kids are ready to move on to that abstract phase, and some kids are still in the pictorial phase, which is completely fine. I want them to go at their own pace. So those are the 3 stages, and it's really impacted their learning because they are able to really formulate what is going on in math and being able to manipulate math. So what I love about teaching math to 3rd graders is I love all the aha moments that they have. I love to see that little light bulb go off for them and see it on their face. I also love that they come up with very creative ways of doing math, and not always right, but we're able to get them back on track, and I just love the way that they do their thinking. It's always interactive, they're very energetic, they love to learn, and again, I just love seeing that aha or that when it clicks for them.